Okay, so what was your first thought when the city announced that they were switching back to the Flint River water?
Well, actually, when I heard that they were switching back to the Flint water, I was actually upset because from the previous studies of how long it took to figure out that there was lead in the water, it actually made me upset how they were going to switch back to the water, knowing that there is lead in the water.
Well, I was worried about whether or not they had that plant hooked up where we go ahead and take care of what needs to be done. That plant's real old. I grew up drinking Flint water, but I don't know if I really want to drink it anymore. Not with the pipe situation.
Right.
I was kind of scared because like Flint water comes from like the Flint River, and the Flint River is kind of nasty. So I was like low key scared. I knew something bad was gonna happen when they did that.
When the switch happened, did you notice anything unusual with the water, like the smell or the color?
Yes, I did. A couple of times when I turned on my faucet, nothing but brown water came out, and it had this like trashy like smell.
Yeah, it would come out discoloration and then it had an odor to it.
I noticed that I would get really itchy after taking a shower. One time I washed dishes and they had a strange smell to them, so I rewashed them. The shower turned a little orange a couple times.
Oh, okay. So how do you feel about the government now? Like, do you feel betrayed by the government, or do you feel unrepresented?
Or just like
Anything?
I don't know what to think about it. I know he messed up big time.
I felt like they knew something was up.
Really very upset, but like the thing is though, I figured with Snyder in there and stuff, you couldn't expect much more. They had, what's his name in there, going ahead, his job was, what was it, not earlier, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but his job was to come in here and cut costs. He didn't care about what damage was going to do to the public. He was just cutting costs. He did his job. But that's about all he did. His job and killed a bunch of people in the long term.
Did anything happen to your family physically, hair loss or rashes?
No hair loss yet, thank God, but rashes, yeah. I have two nieces who are 1 and one is going on 5. And their skin is pretty much horrible for the most part.
Would you like to say anything to the representatives about the Flint water crisis?
Solve the problem right away.
Yeah, let's get it fixed as soon as possible.
Instead of pointing fingers, let's just get it solved,
Help us. Help us. Help us.
Please don't let this happen to no other community like it happened to Flint, Michigan, my city, born and raised.
All of these are packaged together. That's it. This was designed. If you look on there, only a couple of out of the, I think it's 15 bills on here. Only 2 are not in local government. All the rest of them are sitting in local government together. It was meant to move as a package. The likelihood, the governor, we've been meeting with the governor. We were meeting governor weekly, and now it's been bi-weekly, but we were meeting weekly for several months. They have supported the pre-flushing bill they had stood behind of Rep. Neely's, and one other bill that they also stood behind was the public notification, because they're the ones that came up with the 48 hours. So we don't have the pushback from the governor's office. We have more of the pushback right here in the House from the Speaker. So that's where it stands right now, is that those two are high priority, sitting probably at the top of the heap. But until the Speaker of the House decides that he wants these things to move, they won't move.
Do you believe this situation in Flint, the Flint water crisis, is environmental racism?
That's a good question. I think that if Flint hadn't been in such like financial straits, that this wouldn't have happened to our city. I think that I can't say that it was race specifically. I don't think, you know, Flint was targeted, but I think that, you know, we were just not, you know, I think that maybe with, you know, the emergency manager and the emergency manager law the way it was, that the considerations weren't particularly on the health and well-being of the citizens. It was just fiscal decisions, and I think that that's where they really went wrong.
I'm going to say that there have been implications of that. That first of all, you have to understand that I'm not just about the environmental piece, but that the emergency manager piece has only been used in urban communities. It's predominantly been used in urban situations, and that's the first thing you have to understand. Urban, if you can surmise from that, urban situations are usually healthy situations for minority populations. So, you know, you can draw whatever conclusion you want from that. And some have indicated or stipulated that yes, that this does speak to some type. Would a community of not color have gone a year, 2 years? Could this have happened in Bloomfield Hills, West Bloomfield, Ann Arbor? Could this have happened this long? No, nobody here believes that. No, nobody here believes that. Believe me, all of the representatives around here that you know, from just kind of talking amongst people, they know whether they support it or don't support this situation. That yes, and in those communities, this would never have taken this long to resolve.
Okay, so what is being done to help the residents currently affected with lead?
There are numbers of DHHS, which is Human Services, that you're just a barrage of programs. I can't even begin to tell you how many, and they're just a barrage of programs dealing with mental health, physical health, blood testing for both children and adults, food distribution that they're working on. Yeah, just a lot of stuff. I was the rep had me charged with kind of monitoring those early dollars, because we had roughly 30 million that was disseminated to those departments through a public act. They were supplementals to the budget that the governor signed, and had those dollars distributed to those departments to immediately impact and affect the community.
But as far as what the state has funded, I know for sure the last line item budget thing I have is from actually Representative Phelps, who passed the first appropriation for Flint back in February, I want to say. So that was the first money to go to Flint after the crisis was really like recognized in the emergency declaration. And so that money went towards blood testing in kids, lead abatement in houses, and so they're doing this. I'm not sure exactly where they're starting. I know that a lot of this is going through DHHS, so it will be people with open cases, you know, people who are getting money for food or cash assistance, or you know, have Medicaid or Medicare through DHHS. So those people are the first to get these like lead abatement programs and lead testing programs through DHHS.
when the switch happened, did you notice anything unusual with the water itself, like smell-wise or color?
Smell like fish.
Is it safe? That nasty, bro. That work.
Who are we? GEC!